Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at the rankings feature. Rankings can be found by clicking the button in the top of the results screen right here. That brings up the ranking screen. You can also go down to the bottom. In this right hand window you see a list of the horses ranked, and you can also click this title box right here to get to that same screen. Now what the rankings are completely different than the factors over here that you would use when you select particular factors and turn them on and give them values. You see the rankings here in this main screen, and those are based on points and the relationship of the horses and how they rank based on the factors you've chosen and the weights that you've given them. The rankings screen is going to take a look at each particular horse within each factor and show you how they measure up. So we have every factor that we have in Betmix over here on the left, and they're categorized by speed, pace, earnings, trainer, jockey, pedigree, and form. So when you look at the rankings, and let's look at speed as an example. This first factor we have here is best lifetime speed number, and this shows you how the horses are ranked within that factor: 3, 2, 9, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 1, 7. So the 3 has the best overall lifetime speed number, followed by the 2, the 9, the 4, and so on. And as you look at each factor, you can see where horses rank within that factor. Over here is the overall rankings. Now these are computed by looking at where a horse is ranked within a particular factor and then assigning points based on that placement. So looking at best lifetime speed number, we see that we have 10 horses in this race. So the 3, who ranks the best in that particular factor, is going to get 10 points. The 2 is going to get 9, the 3 is going to get 8, and so on all the way down to 1. Sometimes you'll see a horse that has a little 0 next to its name, or next to its number, excuse me, and that means that the horse does not have any data for that particular factor. So if we go down here and look at best speed on all weather, we see that the 4 is on top, but every other horse has a little 0 next to the number. And that 0 means that there is no data for that horse within that factor. So only the 4 has ever raced on an all-weather track. Now we're looking at a race at Aqueduct on the dirt, so that doesn't really matter. Best speed on all weather is not really a factor that you would consider when handicapping a dirt race at Aqueduct. But there are some other horses here that have zeros in categories that may be of interest in this race. For example, if you go down to trainer, jockey, ROI for the meet, you see that the 2, the 4, and the 8 do not have any data for that. And there'll be some other cases. Best speed number at today's track, the 2, the 6, and the 7 have a 0, which means that they have not raced at this track, so therefore they do not have a best speed number at today's track. Now, when these rankings are computed, we take into consideration points for horses that don't have any data. So for example here, we're going to give the 4 points here, but the other ones are all going to be, they're not going to be ranked 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a tie there, so you're going to see that reflected in the overall rankings. And on the bottom right, you see a chart. This is a simple bar chart that looks at each category and shows you where the horses rank within that category. So if we looked at earnings, we could see that the 4 is ranked the highest. He has 41 points within the earnings category. The 5 is second with 38, and the lowest ranked horse here is the 7 with 15. And you can switch between these categories and kind of get a look at where the horses stack up within each one. So now one thing to note about this is a flash based chart, so you're not going to see this if you're using an iPad or an iPhone, and those two devices do not allow flash, so you won't see that if you're looking at Betmix through one of those devices. Now to get out of the ranking screen, you can just click in the black area over here, and that takes you back to the main Betmix screen. Rankings are available in today's races, historical races, Mixmaker, but you will not see them in the all races report. So that's rankings in a nutshell. Take a look at some of the other tutorial videos, and if you have any questions, always feel free to email us. Thanks very much, and best of luck.